Hey folks, welcome to 6 Minutes of Witchcraft with me, Laura Tempest Zakroff. Today I'm going to be discussing why I'll say witchcraft isn't free. So let me get the timer started, ready to go. And first I'm going to read you a tweet that I made a little while ago, and it reads, "In witchcraft, the words free and having no monetary cost are not necessarily synonymous nor relevant. Everything has a value. There's always an exchange." Now, some folks totally understand what I'm talking about. I think a lot of other folks are like, what do you mean? And like nature is free and you can learn things that without paying money for them. I'm not talking about money. Though this did spawn out of a conversation about pirated PDFs. I'm not going to go deep into that because that's sort of a whole topic unto itself, except to say, don't distribute pirated PDFs of work by living authors. Things that are still within copyright, don't be that asshole. Especially don't be the asshole that sells them on Etsy and are screwing out so many people of their livelihood and their effort and energy, because that's shitty. So don't do it. Now, back to what I'm talking about here. So, money is this thing that most people relate to for cost. But time, thought, energy spent, with the body, with action, all of these things have a cost to them, right? There is an exchange. That's what I'm talking about, an exchange. And by the way, the exchange isn't always equal, right? Who gets to define what equal is? Well, that's a whole other realm, right? Somewhere there's a point of balance, but there's not a always tit for tat type of thing. And at the heart of witchcraft is understanding interconnectivity, that we as human beings are a part of the world around us, a part of the universe, that we are interconnected with plants, animals, trees, other people, place. All of these things are interwoven. And as we are working magic and doing ritual in these places, there is a sense of give and take. So while you might not buy your herbs, if you grow that plant, it is still the investment of time and energy that's put into it by keeping that plant alive, by harvesting it, wading through, working through that. And when it comes to, is one more powerful than the other, buying the herbs versus growing them, it really comes down to you, right? You'll probably have a sense of a little bit more power and connection to the plant that you grew versus the one that you purchased, but it still relies on you. You are the main factor. So that's important to keep in mind. But when it comes to practicing witchcraft over time, you learn that effort put in sometimes pays off, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it's a little less effort than you think it is. But again, it's not something that's like, this is 5 cents, this is $20. It doesn't quite work that way. There's so much more nuance to it, and it depends on the situation and who and what you're working with, whether it's gods, whether it's spirits, plants, animals, each other, all of these things, depending on what the goal is, what the interaction is, has an exchange. So that is really important to keep in mind. Also, this is why, I get a little snitty about, like, I ain't talking about magic and spells in the way that most people look at magic and spellcraft as sort of this band-aid, right? They're looking for the easy solution to something. It's how a lot of people tend to get into things, and perhaps when they figure out some work, they scoot out, or they go, this shit doesn't work, and they run off. And then for the folks who actually become part of the practice and learn and understand that there's a lot more going on, and it is incredibly powerful once you are fully invested from that root level onward. But, if you're doing magical triage, like, I'm just trying to, make my life easier, it takes work. There is no easy solution. And so it's not just going to be, boop, I fixed it, right? Especially if you're only working on the surface level, you can temporarily fix things. But if you're not doing the work deeper to understand why those problems are happening, why this pattern is going on, what you can do to stop that pattern, right? You have to invest that time and energy. And it might not cost you anything financially, but it's still going to take that time, that mental capacity, that spiritual capacity, what it takes just to, feed and clothe your body and do the things to keep it clean and happy and work and all that. That is worth something. And I think that the more that we can honor time spent, the energy thought in the thought process that happens, the better that we understand ourselves, each other, and start to value things that don't have monetary value. The arts often go into this too. It's like, again, we are not... There's a lot more complexity to the system. So, and if you really want to look at more about money and witchcraft, be sure to check out a separate episode that I talk about that more in depth. And also there's sometimes workshops I do on the business of witchcraft, which is important, right? There are some things that money can really be the only easy exchange. But again, what's easy, right? There's still work to be done. And it will take that time. It will take that necessary energy to get things done. So I hope this has helped you, that it delves into that concept a little bit more and maybe makes you think about the time and effort that you put into your practice and how that does pay off in the long run, in the short run, etc. But honor that exchange. So be sure to subscribe. There's more to come soon. Bye.